here. Y'all run down the Gaza youth. What you expect me to do?
The wicked is that we're about to deserve that. If I deserve that.
Love them. To see them.
Should I give him no life? I should just give him certain time and then come back.
Well, boss. Well, boss.
Every day. I'm out.
So, boom. I was chilling with a friend one day and he was like, I see you doing your thing on YouTube, but why you never talk about Vybz Kartel? I choked. Vybz? World boss? Didn't he just come out of prison? Child, I usually talk about aspiration people, to aspire people. I don't know if Vybz is that, he said, but I bet you he never wants to go back to prison. And I think that's a lesson, no? I thought. And then went and took my pen to write the pros and cons of why I should talk about Vybz Kartel. I'm usually a positive person, realistic, but mostly positive. So here I was fighting my own conscience to understand and actually learn from the world boss, because at the end of the day, he's the world boss. Not mine, but you get it. When I tell you this story took me to Timbuktu by foot and back, I was like, dang, what this? Flabbergasted is an understatement. At the end of my research, I was asking, can he be forgiven for what? I'll tell you, but I actually realized after Vybz said Babylon was out to get him that actually Vybz Kartel was Babylon. Okay, let me color this life like it's all in prayer and searching.
He was raised in the Waterford district of Portmore with his 4 sisters and 1 brother.
I've had this before, and I think you have too, where one parent feels the child shouldn't pursue their creative dream for a plethora of reasons. In this case, Adidja, Azim Palmer, that's Vybz Kartel, his dad didn't want him doing no damn music. The boy was to focus on school and school alone. But his mother was the opposite, because she had brothers who had done music most of their life. She didn't see no problem in a child Adidja pursuing it, cause what one gonna do and cuff him to his beard? Bamba. Fate had sealed Adidja Palmer, born 7th January 1976, 14 years after the independence of Jamaica. He was born in Portmore, Kingston. And Kingston is, after all, a city of music. By the way, did you know that Jamaica is the home of James Bond and was once home to pirates? James Bond? Adidja in an interview said that his parents were good parents. They instilled discipline in him, fed him, clothed him, sheltered him, told him to study hard. And him don't know why he turned out so bad. You know how kids get expelled from school for doing naughty things? I would know. Don't tell. But Adidja, this boy went around and effed up and got himself expelled from school for truancy. Basically, he was out doing music and his attendance was so bad that the teachers were like, "You're not our pet. We don't want you. Be gone." Not this. Adidja was actually good in school. He got good grades. Some have said he could have actually become an astronaut if he had focused on his studies. Maybe that's how he was the teacher's pet before they dethroned him because of his absence in performing his pet duties, quote unquote.
I'm not a religious leader and I'm not a political leader. So I shouldn't be held responsible for growing a child. Responsibility should be held with the parents.
Now Adidja had time to actually work on being the world boss, aka Adi Bantan. Yep, that was his stage name when he became a member of Vybz Kartel. Wait, before I go off with my biasness, I actually want to point out that Adidja is super hardworking. Like, he's smart. Like, he wrote so many songs in a short amount of time that kudos to him. Brav works hard, even at 17 years old. It will be 10 years later before Adidja would rise to fame, but the drama. In 1993, nothing major was happening except South Africa was in the premise of getting their independence. Otherwise, the usual, like Adidja Palmer was starting his career with his first recording, Love Fat Woman, which he released on Alvin Reid's label One Heart, using the name Adi Bantan and homage to Buju Bantan. I guess the 90s was the era of musical groups like the Fugees, so the plan was to form a music group so as to compete, I guess. Adi Bantan formed a group with friends Mr. Lee and Escobar and Escobar in 1996.
Kartel started out just as any other dancehall DJ, started out as an avid fan, loving the music. We're born in music. I had some uncles who used to DJ, I never really made it, but I used to emulate them and wanted to be like them so much, So we started growing up. I started going out now to like talent shows in the area, gang show, and get couple boo, learn the art, go back to the drawing board, and just gradually build until we became like semi-professional, lacking Portmore.
If you didn't catch the Jamaican patois, basically Vybz is the serious one of the group. He claimed to have written 30 songs while in the group. Bruv, I told you, this man works like an ant. The group split up and Adi Bantan became Vybz Kartel. Do you know what I mean? There's this thing in the music industry called PR stunts, usually a gimmick done to promote the music of an artist, because usually humans are drawn to drama, and some people, since they know that humans are drawn to drama, might take you for idiot. Some PR are like relationships or breakups, like in the case of B allegedly, and some are beefs, not Kendrick. In this case, there was a music show in Portmore, Kingston by a company called Sting. Make note of this. And they needed for a big audience to show up, so money. So them called two artists, Ninja Man and Vybz Kartel, to come to the show and act like they want to fight each other. Actually, they did fight each other, but this was pre-planned. The show was a hit, quote unquote. Vybz got his name out and Ninja Man too. Later, like 4 days later, they came out and said, "We no fight, we artists, and me and him cool."
But Mr. Wait, I lead to. And it's my responsibility to tell Jamaica not to take this on the battlefield.
Disciplined child. I never knew how I got so wild. Yeah? But seriously though, my
Love it or loathe it, this did what needed to be done. Actually, I loathe it and I'm judging, but I guess I can't hate the players. I should hate the game. Now, Vybz Kartel was a protege of Bounty Killer. I don't know who that is.
To just leave. The Bounty Killer is a mentor of Vybz Kartel, over the years, the whole Jamaica know that, so we're always forever grateful and thing,
But Google say he's one of the most aggressive dancehall stars of the 90s, a street tough good boy with an unrepentant flair for gun. What is happening? Unrepentant flair for gun talk? Cha, and one of the best dancehall lyricists of all time. I guess that's a good thing. And this was Vybz Kartel mentor, okay? Until, Vybz Kartel left the alliance to form his own label and crew, and it was on site. 2006 was a treacherous time, not for Vybz, but for the streets of Gaza and Gully. When I was a teen, I remember hearing about Gaza versus Gully, hanging out with dancehall enthusiasts, aka fans, and being a dancer of dancehall myself, I was influenced to pick a side. Usually I'd say Gaza, but bruv, I didn't know what I meant by saying that until now, and I'm embarrassed. The ghetto. So boom, here's how it all went down. Vybz Kartel had cut ties with his mentor Bounty Killer, remember him? Who led a group called The Alliance, basically a conglomerate of artists from Cassava P. St. Andrew, and Gully was a housing scheme project ghetto from St. Andrew. Vybz, on the other hand, went to form his own label called Adidja Not Nice Records with Ainsley Not Nice Morris from Portmore, his hometown. You know what's ironic? As I was researching this, I went to a friend's place and his Wi-Fi name was Not Nice, quote unquote. Was it a coincidence? Anyways, Vybz Portmore label. So he signed artists from Portmore, Jamaica, including Popcan, my favorite, Tommy Lee and Ja Vinci. And ding ding ding, Gaza was also a housing scheme stroke project stroke the ghetto from Portmore. So Vybz, Gaza and Mavado from Gully. Mavado was a rising dancehall star from Kingston, Gully side. Since Vybz Kartel had now left the alliance and it was on site, this guy went to Benny Man's wedding, who was marrying literally no one but Bounty Killer's ex-girlfriend. The drama. Like, boy, when he was asked why he did that.
You know what I mean? But you have a time in life where you have to become your own person. You know what I mean? Even in real life situations, because if I was to have followed my father back in the day, I wouldn't even have become an artist.
Basically, I'm my own man, I can do what I want, blah blah blah. At this point, Vybz Kartel was well known. He had established himself as the king of dancehall in Kingston, gained notoriety, respect, all the shebang. Mavado, on the other hand, was a rising star, a rising phenomenon, and I guess he felt a way about Vybz' antics towards the alliance.
A style thing where the public don't know. So Mavado and I picnic thing with him, Mavado just step forward and say, Killer, make me deal with him. Time done a pre, we are ready.
With the hype he got still in his head, had ego minus humility, he did what he could do best, music in form of a diss track. He challenged the throne and the king had to defend it. Rumors have it that Vybz was sending sly street attacks to Mavado's camp to put the fear of Vybz on him. I don't know. So Mavado thought, I ain't no, oh that's a beautiful bitch, and sent a diss track.
Stuff for life, boy. Anyway, tell them they ain't the real McCoy. They're just some baby boy.
I bet Vybz was like, here call a king of dancehall a boy. Him fi know who a real boy pon the thing. And released Mufrodo, a play on Mavado's name while calling him a fraud. Child, the ghetto. I just had Bamba clap and suck your and something like your dead father. Guys, I don't know why I took this challenge. I'm going to need a spiritual cleanse after this. No, I'm serious. Pray for me and subscribe. It will help. You thought the beef between Kendrick and Drake was a lot? No, wait. You thought the beef between Tupac and Bad Boy Records was too much? Boy, girl, you have not seen war. As the disses flew back and forth, in the streets were getting dark, and the youths gonna get so cold. It was war. If you were in Gaza, no Mavado Gully music, and if you were in Gully, then better no hear no Gaza music. Photoshops of chopped head from either side were posted. The graffitis that rampaged the streets were symbols of where the people's loyalty were. It was so bad, a tourist got caught while playing Mavado's music in Gaza. Lord forgive me. Off with his head. No, actually he was attacked. If I knew that this was what they meant when they were asking me that damn question, Gully versus I would have shut my mouth. It is true. People perish for lack of knowledge, and I think oh my days. This was not a PR stunt. It was disease, death, and despair. It was disastrous, and the angels of chaos, both these guys. When pride, ego, power, money, music propaganda mixes, you get this. This is why I say Vybz was Babylon. Babylon is a corrupted mental slavery state, right? What's more corrupted than street wars and gangs that form from listening to destructive music? What's more oppressive than fighting from a beef of two guys who are earning from your misery? You're listening to their music, then go kill your brother? Is that normal? What's more mental slavery than destroying yourselves, family, home to prove a point? To prove no point except one man can sing better than the other. One man can sing better gun talk, better suck your mother music than the other. Nonsense. No one had any sense to think about this ish. How are you going to sit in your dancehall throne and watch others die to keep your crown? I'm so over it. And I guess I won't judge more than that. As the street wars intensified, the government had to come in and do something. The next year, in March 2007, these two chaotic musicians were called in to squash their beef for the peace of the streets. They acted all kumbaya for the press and went back to being bitter behind the scenes. What was the reason? The streets grew more and more intense, and I need to breathe.
Vybz Kartel is not in any war with any artist. You know what I mean? Vybz Kartel is just doing music, making hit songs, you know what I mean, making products.